Welcome back, everybody. I'm Travis with Linux Academy. In the previous lesson, we discussed how we can use bind mounts for persistent storage. However, volumes are the preferred method when it comes to maintaining persistent data in Docker. So let's go and cover some of the use cases. First off, volumes are more easier to back up as well as migrate. You can go and manage volumes using the Docker CLI or the API. Volumes work on both Linux and Windows. Another huge advantage is you can more safely share a volume with multiple containers. Certain drivers allow you to go and create volumes on a remote system or in the cloud. A good example would be the Rexray driver. And last of all, when we go and create a volume and we're mounting it to a directory that has files pre-existing, those files will get pre-populated into the volume. We're going to start off by creating a new volume. It's going to be called HTML-volume. And when we go and create a container, it's going to be mounted into user share nginx HTML. And because there are files in there, they're going to be copied over to the volume. When executing Docker container run, there's two flags we can use to mount a volume into the container. The first one is going to be the mount flag. Traditionally, this flag has been used for Docker Swarm, but starting with Docker 17.06, we can use it with standalone containers as well. We're using the D flag to make sure that the container runs in the background. The name of the container is going to be nginx-volume1. And next comes the mount flag. The first thing we need to do is specify the type, which is volume. And again, all these options will be separated by a comma. Next up, we're going to define the source, which is going to be HTML-volume, which is the name of the volume we just created. And next, the destination. So we're setting it to target equal /user/share/nginx/HTML. And finally, we specify the image, which is nginx. Next, I'm going to run docker volume inspect on the HTML volume. And the reason why is because I want to get the mount point. And by executing sudo ls, we can see that the volume was pre-populated. This happens when the volume is mounted to a directory for the first time that has files in it. Because these files exist locally on the Docker server, I can go and edit them. So I can go and edit the index file by using sudo vi. And I'm just going to go and just delete everything that's in body and put in hello world. Now again, this volume is being shared between two containers, so this is going to affect both. Let's start by getting the private IP of nginx volume 2, and we do this by executing docker container inspect, grab the private IP, and execute curl. And as you can see, this has been changed. Now let's go and log into nginx volume 1. We're going to be doing this by executing docker container exec -it for interactive, specifying the name of the container, nginx volume 1, and then bin bash. Now when I navigate over to user share nginx HTML, we can view the change by catting out the index file. Now I do want to go and edit this file, so I'm going to go and install Vim. And start by running an apt-get update, and then apt-get install Vim. Now I can go and execute vi index HTML, and I'm just going to go and make a quick change here. Okay, now I'm going to go and exit out of the container. I can go and verify that the changes have taken effect on nginx volume 2 by executing curl once again. And the change that we made is present. All right, I have one more demonstration for you. This time, when we mount the volume into the container, we're going to make it read-only. We do this by using the mount flag. We start off by going and defining the source, which is HTML-volume, followed by a comma, and now the destination. Target is going to equal /user/share/nginx/HTML, followed by a comma, and then we add read-only. This means that when we log into the container, we're not going to be able to edit any of the files that are in the HTML volume. So let's go ahead and create it, and then we'll log into it. Just like before, we'll be executing docker container exec -it, nginx volume 3, and then bin bash. Navigate over to the HTML directory, then cat out the index file. Okay, so this is indeed the volume we've been working with the previous two containers. Now to prove that the volume is read-only, I'm going to go install Vim and then try and edit the file. To do this, we have to start by executing a apt-get update, followed by an apt-get install Vim. Now let's see if we can go and edit the index file. Let's go down to the bottom. Oh, look at that. We are getting a warning saying that it's read-only. We can try and go and make some changes, but when we go to save, we're not going to be able to. To quickly recap, we learned about the various ways that Docker handles storage, both for persistent as well as non-persistent data. We learned about the commands that we can use to go and manage volumes. Even though volumes are the preferred method of storage within Docker, we also learned about bind mounts and how we can use them to manage configuration files. And we also learned about the mount and volume flag, which allows us to go and mount a volume into a container when we go and create it. Coming up next, you have a hands-on lab, and once you complete that, move on to the next section.